It's been a long day. You know, one of those days, the day from you know what? And you're driving along and you're thinking, oh God, what am I going to do for dinner? Yeah, dinner. And it's too late. There's no way to go to the grocery store. So what do you got to do? Whatever's in the house. So you go in, you throw things to the side, you go to the kitchen. You kind of do this number and you open the door and you look and it's a good news. There's at least ground beef. Okay, so ground beef, that's pretty good. You look around a little more and there's an onion. Okay, ground beef and an onion. That's a start. There's some garlic. Ground beef, onion, garlic. And then you think about it. You think, okay, in the pantry, I might be able to come up with at least a can of tomatoes. So if we've got ground beef, onion, garlic, and tomatoes, what have we got?
Dinner.
Okay, dinner! We've got spaghetti! Okay. Meatballs.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf. What else would we have?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers, yes! Oh gosh, and we could add some of that stuff into them and make them really good. What else?
Chili.
Chili! Oh gosh, I love chili. And it's almost the time of the year we can start to make
Tacos.
it. Tacos! Tacos! Isn't this amazing? Just from ground beef, an onion, some garlic, and a can of tomatoes. Yeah. And look at all of these incredible dishes. And what, of course, is the common denominator? Spices. You know, if we add a little bit of basil and a little bit of oregano, what have we got? Italiano. We can do the spaghetti and the meatballs. If we add a little bit of cumin and some chili powder, we have Mexicano. And if we add a little bit of parsley and some egg and a little bread and some ketchup, we can do Americano with the meatballs, right? So it's all about starting with some great core ingredients. If we have something as good as ground beef and onion and garlic and tomatoes, all we need is just a little bit of spice. And you know what? My philosophy when it comes to growing your business and enriching your life is that we all have a unique set of core ingredients. You have your own special core ingredients. I have my own special core ingredients. And all we have to do is figure out what are the little spicers that we can add to what we already have that's great to make everything a little better, a little more exciting, a little more unique, a little more effective. You know, living in New Orleans is really interesting. New Orleanians are proud that we rank so high as this fabulous tourist destination on so many different levels. But sadly, we don't rank as high on things like disposable income or educational achievement. And we've had to deal with our share of serious natural adversity. But you know, the people of New Orleans are so creative. They're used to working with scarcity. They're used to being resilient. The lesson I've learned in watching the people, incredible people of New Orleans, is that they take what they've got in front of them and they add a little spice to it and they make magic. And they do it with their music. They do it with their food, with their culture, with their celebrations, and even with their business. They just take what's there and find little ways to make it all incredibly different. And so today I'm going to talk to you about how to do this by adding a little spice to your business, as well as adding a little spice to enrich your life. And so one of the things I would like for you to consider is asking yourself over and over and over again, what do I love? What do I love? And when it comes to your business, what kinds of ideas and ideals do you love? I'll give you a little example of that. As a speaker, one of my mentors once asked me, if you had only one presentation left to give in your entire career, in your entire life, what would you speak about? You know what? When I got that question, what I was speaking on was not what I wanted to speak about. I'm here today talking to you based on the answer to that question. And 2 hard years of really thinking about how do I shape and reshape my business so I'm living my passion, so it is aligned with what I care about. So when you're doing the what do you love, one of the things you need to do is document it. This is my Find Your Spice binder. It has stayed with me for 3 straight years. There are list after list in here of what do I love. When I experience something that I just come back and get all giggly about, I go write down a little piece in this to remind me about what it was that I loved. So what are some things that you might love? Well, ideas and ideals. There may be certain work environments that you love. I have known my entire adult life that I'm energized around conferences and meetings and learning from new people, and both in the meetings and out in the hallways. I'm just crazy about that environment. So I had to make sure that my business allowed me to experience that environment. Another question in the what do you love might be, what kinds of business functions do you love? You know, what are your greatest skills? You don't want to go too far out of those skill sets, because that's when you hire people and you delegate and you find outside people and other things. So you're staying in your skill set. So what do you love? Continue to ask yourself that. No matter what the stage of your business, you want to continually be asking yourself, because I have many clients that are in the mature stages of their business, and they're going, it's not bringing me the same juice anymore. And I'm going, okay, you've gotten too far away from what you love. How do we redirect? How do we re-steer to get you back to what you love? So whether you're brand new in business, whether you're in high growth stage and hanging on for dear life, or whether you're at maturity, it really matters to keep asking yourself and documenting. You know, this is yours, it's private, nobody has to see it, but it really needs to contain everything, okay? It's not a business plan. It could be made into one, but it's everything. A good writer never goes anywhere without something to capture their thoughts and ideas. Business owners need to do the same thing. So if finding your passion and asking what you love is important, I want you also to think about, who do you love? Who do you love? And this is relationships. One of the other challenges that a lot of entrepreneurs have is we want to please everybody. We want to have everybody as clients. And that's not the case. There are certain people that we love to work with. And there are other people that we really don't like to work with. And we need to be making sure and making that distinction. So there's other whole secret list in my little binder. Who do I love? Who do I love? And I drive my clients crazy, because I ask them over and over and over, how old are they? How did they find you? What is it about them that you love working with? Why did they like working with you? You know, everything you can find out. I literally changed my business to totally say goodbye to highly profitable clients that I don't want to work with anymore, because I want to do what I love with the people I love. And as long as you're serving, this is something to think about. As long as you're serving the people you really love, you can do many things for them. So sometimes people make the mistake of niching by a function rather than niching by a client. I like doing many things for one client. So think about that. It's kind of an interesting way that maybe fits your strategy better. I will tell you, in leaving relationships, that the single most efficient way to grow your business is through your existing relationships. Your existing clients, your existing colleagues, your existing supporters, mentors, advisors. You take good care of the people that's already in your life. There's going to be more of them than you ever stop to think about. Again, you document it in your binder. You begin thinking about who are all the relationships, who are the people I need to be taking for coffee, who do I need to make a home-cooked meal for? You know, who are the people that I need to connect with that have served me and that have helped me? Because they're the source for your best new clients. So the third spice, the third core ingredient that we want to add a little spice to is value. If passion is about thinking about what you love, and relationships is thinking about who you love, then value is more about thinking, what do they love about me? What do they love about me? Now, here's a big mistake. This is a tough question because we think we know our own answers. Well, I think they like me because I'm this or I'm this. I am here to tell you, I made one of the biggest screw-ups of my life in not understanding why people hired me. I wasted 2 years and a lot of money on a brand that sold me here when my clients later told me, we don't buy you for this, we buy you for this. And I went, oh no, a little late. You cannot determine your value by looking in a mirror. How do you determine your value?
Feedback.
We go out and we ask. We ask our current clients. We ask our advisors. We ask our prospects. We ask the people who maybe did business with us, who don't even do business with us anymore because they don't have any reason not to tell us the truth. But we find out from them what is our value in the marketplace. Because the marketplace determines our value. We don't determine it, the marketplace does. And the only way that we're going to get that answer is by asking those people in the marketplace. So when it comes to finding spice in your business, your 3 core ingredients are passion, relationships, and value. And if you stay with those, use those core ingredients, and then you add the spicers, the little tactics to those things, then you're going to be much more efficient and more effective at growing your business. So let's turn to the fun side for a second, now that we've worked hard on the business. The fun side is, how do we add a little spice to the rest of our life?
Salsa.
You got that right. That's one of my secret spices. So how do we? You know, the sad part is, as very high-achieving women, this room is full of high-achieving women. We've made some serious sacrifice to be here, right? I mean, we've given up so much along the way to accomplish our goals. A lot of things that we would love to do with our life, we kind of keep putting on hold, don't we? Because not only are the demands of running a business high, but look at all of our other roles and responsibilities. We have caregiving for elderly parents. We have being parents, being spouses. All of these different roles. We give, and we give, and we give some more, don't we?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, sometimes, do you ask yourself, who am I anymore? You know, if I give all this, if I give to my employees, if I give to my family, and I give to my community, and what's left? And so one of the things that makes a challenge with that is we have very little energy or time, and many times as small business owners we don't make maybe what we made in the big corporate world, so we may even have less money to work with, right?
Yes.
So it makes it difficult to achieve the great things on the big bucket list, because how often do we get a chance to mark one of those big bucket list items off? How often do we get to go see the pyramids in Egypt? No? But what do? Do we just kind of frown about it and say, I can't do anything about it, I'm just in my little life and I'm getting smaller and smaller in my smaller little life? Well, we can make that choice, or we can look for ways. That Jamie says, oh, I know Jamie, she's always adding spice in her life. And that's the whole point, is we have to always add spice in our life. Every single day. The quality of our life, at the end of the day, at the end of our life, is the sum of the cumulative decisions that we've made, those little micro decisions, every single day. We've got to stretch ourselves just a little bit further, go into the areas of unfamiliarity, even experience a little discomfort in order to achieve some new things. How many of you are celebrating sometime soon a big milestone, maybe a birthday, anniversary, reunion, or have recently celebrated one? How many of you have had milestones kind of in the last year or year coming up? Quite a few of you? I went through my 50th birthday recently. You know, it's an interesting feeling to go through a milestone like that. About 6 months before it happened, I began to think about it, and I'm sure you all have done the same. Do you kind of begin to think about when the milestone's coming, what am I going to do to celebrate it? What am I going to do to make it special? And you almost feel this pressure, don't you? You know, if it's the 30th reunion or whatever. How much weight can I lose? And what kind of style am I going to have in my hair? And, you know, we're all so caught up in that day, of making that day just so special. Well, 6 months before my 50th birthday, I was quite frankly in a pretty not so great spot. I was almost at the end of this 2-year discovery period where I really dropped out a lot to rethink and repivot my entire business. And I was at a point where I felt really invisible. And I also was losing some of my closest friends. They were taking off to go pursue new career horizons and all this exciting stuff and leaving me behind. And it was just a time when I had very few resources, financial resources, because I was in that pivot point in my business and I wasn't pursuing clients at the same level I had been. So I had less money. So and then, of all things, I'm in this beautiful adopted city that I dearly love for the 12th year, doing everything that I've loved so much for the 12th time. Jazz Fest is not as special the 12th time as the first time. Mardi Gras loses a little of its cachet the 12th time versus the first time. How many of you all are still trying to get the same return from the things you love for the 12th time? So what do? We have to shake it up a little bit, right? So once again, this one you sure don't get to see. This one is my secret spice. This is my life spice journal, okay? I look around at everything that I could possibly want to do. I think I may have to spend a night in this beautiful place. What do you think? Yeah. It's going to go in here a little later, okay? Every single thing in my life that just inspires me, I jot it down. So 6 months before my 50th birthday, I said, okay, let me go through the secret little journal and see if I can come up with 50 things that I'm going to do before my 50th birthday. And I came up with my 50 by 50 list, and no, you can't see. Although I'll give you a few of them. One of them is really, this one took guts. Some of these are hard and some of these are easy. The easy one is go out and buy An Artist's Way and read it, a book. I mean, some of them are that simple. Some are going to try happy hour at one of the really beautiful downtown hotels that I know has a great happy hour. So some of them are going to visit restaurants. Some are cooking with jicama. I've always had jicama slaw, and it's like, okay, what do you do when you cook with jicama? That's all right, I wouldn't do it again. Okay? So it was all these crazy random things. One of the most challenging one was I had purchased this hat. And it was this giant Art Deco green hat that just kind of went up and over, and it curved, and it did all these wild things. And it sat on a mannequin in my bedroom for years. And one of the items is, wear the green hat. And by golly, I did. I think I might have had an extra glass of champagne or two at the event, but I wore the hat. And I won the hat contest. And it's So what's the moral of this? Start documenting the little things. What could you do differently today? Go into a restaurant tonight if you don't feel like cooking with a new ingredient. I wouldn't recommend jicama. Go into a restaurant tonight and order, well, tonight's the 1st of the month, right? So order the first thing on the menu, blindly, whatever it is. If you go in on the 17th, order the 17th thing on the menu, whatever it is. Could be a little scary, right?
Yeah, but try it.
But try it, because here's the thing that happiness research shows. It shows that people who are consistently happy, they look for opportunities to push themselves just outside of that comfort zone. They experience temporary, regular discomfort in order to push themselves into something. And if they succeed, they have a satisfaction that is far superior to anything that we experience on a regular routine day. Okay? Happy people make themselves uncomfortable regularly. So we need to think about, how can we do that? So what I want you to do is I want you to go out today, and yes, you can get your binder to start capturing your business spice, but I also want you to get this binder and start capturing those personal secret spicers that can start to add many, many great moments to your life. And I thank you.